1, 2, 3. Cocks don't pop at all, poppycock cocks do poppy by far. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me. Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me. Rose and Baldini. Take a Trey. Like to flock on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pins. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock kin. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me. Rose and Baldini, why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.
Oh, well, poppycockin'. Hey, kidlets and poppy peepers and all my good friends and family, welcome to the earliest show on the podcasting world. Woo! It's Baldini, and if I can find the great, the lovely, the talented, I know that I can. I'll pick it up here in a moment. Are you there, my friend?
I'm here.
Woohoo! Karen B. Beefy Karen, and you are the master of all things delicious and solar return oriented, apparently, as we're now just days away. I'm just trembling with excitement. It's either that or the coffee. Oh, dear. Let's see. I'll come over here. We have coming up. Put that in there. And then I want to do this. So we have coming up. Just starting, just hours now, huh? Hours away, solar return in South Kakalaki. What do we have to look forward to, my friend?
We have all kinds of good stuff to look forward to. Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., we're going to be at the park, hanging out, having a big old meetup, barbecuing, playing games, just laughing, having a good time, living life as normal.
Yeah, right?
And then Saturday, we're going to have the event, the live event with all the music and everything at the event center. And there's all kinds of great people coming to play, as you can see on the schedule.
Yep.
ODD, Chief Crow and the Flat Earthworms, Jason Lindgren,
One Big
Baldini,
Love.
Media Bear, Christian Knapp.
Oh,
It's going to be lit.
It's going to be fully lit.
Why is that showing up broken? What is going on with that?
I don't know. Maybe I don't even know. I'm just going to try refreshing that shite.
What is that?
I don't know. It's tripping my balls, man. But anyway, I'll tell you what's not broken is you. Whenever you get there, you're going to have the biggest time imaginable. In fact, just this last weekend in Shelton, Washington, you can see Mark Sargent right there, keeping it flat. And as well as, you can see there's probably 60, 65 folks there, more if you count the kids, maybe up to 80. I am not pictured there because I'm shy. And Ceiling Fan Man and I went off to get some beer because I hardly ever drink, and I was just super thirsty. I wanted a beer, and we went and got one just at the time they took this lovely group photo.
That's cool. Where are they all looking at? Where's the picture where they're all looking?
Over here somewhere. So yeah, it's. But you know what was really terrific about it? One of the things that I did not see was anybody looking at their phones or devices. The only reason they came out was to take photographs. So people interacting with one another. No masks, as you can see. It was just a delightful, delightful time. And that was just our little, Flatober West get together. And if you guys really want to do it upright, you want to come out here to South Kakalaki. Not that, Dottie isn't awesome and Ceiling Fan Man is not. I mean, we were there. We had a good time. But one of the things that came out of that, and I wanted to just not only thank you tremendously, but so in the hours that followed, one of the people that we met with there, and I came across some really terrific people. Some came as far away as Oregon and Northern California. So just outstanding that people came from 8-hour plus drives to get there. But one of them had. Well, just they've been in the community for a while. They're always helping folks out and doing kind things for people. And a few things have happened recently, making it difficult for them to work. You probably get the story. And just, in keeping just some circumspection, I didn't mention who it was or what the circumstances were, but just if people invited folks, if you want to pay it forward, please do. And that you can just drop it into, you'll find in the show notes, PayPal and Venmo for me. But if you would put on there, please be specific, just like love wins or paying it forward or for our friend, whatever, so I know where it goes. But what I really love is that people came through already. And without knowing who it is, what it's for, right? Other than somebody in our group just needs a little bit of help, just a little booster. And you guys stepped up in a big way. I'm so... I'm verklempt over here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And so there was some just great things. I was about 2:00 yesterday. I was putting everything in a spreadsheet so I can send it over to Ceiling Fan Man and go, hey, here's who donated and how much, and here's how much I'm going to toss in. And I got a last minute, just as I was about to close that file, I got a notification that somebody else had donated, which really actually doubled everything I'd gotten so far. I was like, whoa, holy crow. And that was awesome. And then this morning, just after I told lovely Mrs. Baldini about it, we got another donation that doubled that yet again. So we're kicking it for this. But anyway, you guys are the best, and I know that each of you who has so far donated, you're going to be blessed in a huge way, right? Just for being a cheerful giver and for helping those in need. It is. Again, this is it's so awesome. And after having met up with Ceiling Fan Man, Ceiling Fan Man, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
I haven't met him yet, but yes, I know Ceiling Fan.
So, yeah, he's whack-eared in a sack of hammers. Woo! And we just have the biggest time when we get together. And so I decided Saturday that, I'm going to have more fun. That's what I decided, Karen. I said, you know what? Isn't fun the best thing to have, really?
Yes.
Yes. And,
of course.
Yeah. And, I just of course, we want to be a serious researcher and all that sort of stuff. But I just thought, you know what? I'll just let my hair down a little bit. Okay, wait a minute. No. Okay, let's try. Yeah, I'm going to just relax and be, fun and have jokes. So, in... on his Friday night, so Ceiling Fan Man does a regular Friday night show now. He's like 3 into it, I think, maybe 4. But he did a terrific set of games at the end, like guess, is this a bank robber or a customer? And he brought that game to Sort of Scriptural on my channel Sunday night. And it was not only fun, but a fascinating tell-all look into psychology, because the people that he showed, bank robber or customer, well, you could go back and look at it. It's a very interesting set of dynamics because, it looked like a bank robber, but I didn't want to be that guy to use racial profiling or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I missed everyone. Oh dear. And my instincts were good. My instincts were right on, but I don't want to be a bad person. And I was, oh dear, I'm turning red right now. Anyway, so I'm going to do a game today as well. We're going to play Two truths and a lie. I'm not going to steal his exact bit because that wouldn't be cool, even though he steals my jokes all the time. So I'm gonna do a two truths and a lie. We'll play that game and we'll come up with various games just to keep things light. Well, let's get into some poppycock. Anything you want to add to solar return? I'm sure we'll touch on it again before we go. But anything that any new developments or anything we want to add before we move on?
No, there's no new developments. Everything is put in place. Everybody just has to show up.
Okay, awesome. And one of the things to know as well is if you are, and I'll send an email out today, try to catch everybody who was interested in the jam session. If you are scheduled to be in the jam session, if you've hit me up for that, or if you are actually going to be there, Jason Lindgren, or, Matt, if you're listening, probably not. But if you're going to be on the stage, come when you check in at the front desk. Make sure to check in with me as well. Right? They'll have contact. Just make sure that I know, so that I can help make sure that everybody gets on and off the stage on time, and that people who want to jam get a chance to do so. So make sure that we're connected with you earlier in the day. Also, if you're able to, on Friday, we're going to have a chance to do a full sound check on Friday. If you want to just kind of run through something, we'll only get a quick line check on Saturday. So if you're involved in that, PRD 004, Rico,
there you go.
Check in. All right. Yeah.
I'll add one more thing. I did remember one more thing to the park Friday. Okay. David Weiss is bringing a bunch of those giant globe balloons that we had in Denver, where we attached bags to them and they flew off into the air carrying all kinds of swag.
Nice.
So we're going to do that here at this event. On Friday, I got a big ass helium tank. David's got a bunch of giant globe balloons, and we're going to release the globe a bunch of times.
Do I get to do funny voices with the helium?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? It's a giant tank. I got like the biggest tank I could find, and it wasn't cheap.
I'll be like, fuck the Rickers. Fuck the Rickers. Oh, yeah, Brian Stavely would be the best. Oh my gosh. Let him go on a rant. He's got to do a live stream of that. It'd be outstanding. So, we're going to have a big time. Don't miss it. You really don't want to miss this. There's going to be too much fun. Too much rock for one hand. You have to pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. Oh, I'm sorry. So it's going to be more fun. Putting the fun back in dysfunctional. Well, speaking of dysfunctional, of course, you're going to see more and more of this every time you look at the quote news from quote authoritative sources. They are trying to, of course, give you the impression that everybody's trying their best, trying their dangdest to get a hold of this V thing, so they can be a lab rat and a guinea pig for companies that have been known to lie, and some of them are currently facing multi-billion-dollar penalties and payouts because, they were lying.
Yeah, y'all tripping with that.
Yeah, right. You're tripping dicular, right? So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, they're trying to sell this, right? So you recall earlier, I showed that they had an article in the Seattle Times about a 90-year-old gal who'd walked 8 miles in the snow, uphill both ways, so she could get hers. And they're talking now about, again, people trying to cut in line in front of each other, dress. You had girls in their 30s dressing as old ladies so they could get them, that you're going to have to schedule to get it. Again, just like locally here, they had this free testing center, and they said it was so busy, of course, you needed to make sure that you could, get in there, get your appointment. When I went to talk to them and see how many they'd actually done, it was about 4 a day.
Oh my God.
They were literally sleeping. But the local paper was recording, of course, that it was almost impossible to get in there. Hey, Michelle Waldo, great to see you, my friend. And we'll see you coming up. We've just been talking about the Solar Return Festival. It's going to be, super big. So nearly half of healthcare workers remain unvaccinated. The shots are now available to all Floridians age 50 plus. So again, they're selling this as like, woo, you can go get it now. We're going to get it. It's super great. I got the worst thing I've heard. I got my Fauci ouchie.
Oh no.
That makes me want to slap somebody. I really got it.
Oh God. Did you throw up?
I did in my mouth.
Mean,
yeah.
that might trigger a spontaneous projectile vomiting.
Yeah, it's real bad, real bad. So, yeah, I saw that chainsaw cat. In fact, I was going to show that this morning. That our friends over at Krispy Kreme, and see the thing about it is that I like Krispy Kreme, sort of. I mean, once in a while. In fact, I went there Saturday morning and waited for them to get the ones right out of the fryer. And I got to tell you, oh man, they literally melted. It looked like a Salvador Dali painting. It was melting, so delicious. And but yeah, where did I put this? Good. I don't know where I have it now. I did have a thing showing that Krispy Kreme offering a year. If you show them that you got the jab, you get a free donut every day for a year. Yeah, really? Right, Sweeze? Do not take the jab. For
Oh my God.
sure.
Here, let us help kill you faster. Now that you're immunocompromised, here, eat this fat,
Eat this
disgusting,
dog nut.
processed piece of crap and eat that too.
Exactly.
Yum, yum, yum.
Exactly. It's Well, huge asteroid 2021 EQ3 zoomed safely past Earth. No threat to Earth as huge asteroid zooms past. Well, no threat this time, but next time. Still, I have to point out that according to NASA, your chances of dying in a civilization-ending asteroid impact is about 0.0043%, which is still more than dying of the Cranani. Just going to point that out. So, in fact, it's about twice as much. If you're under the age of 50, you have twice as much chance of dying in an asteroid impact, even though we know that's not going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
So, I mean, they might make something, appear. And there's, even in the book of Revelation, there's something that appears much like that. But I guarantee it's not an asteroid from outer space. One thing I know for sure is it's not that. One thing else I know for sure is that when royals talk, just like politicians, you can tell how you can tell they're lying. Their lips are moving. Meghan and Harry clarified because they got, she said that they got married in a private backyard ceremony just days prior to their official big, ceremonial wedding. Turns out that didn't really happen. Well, let's clarify. We privately exchanged personal vows. So we just said, yeah, I love you, honey. Oh, okay. They finally admit they didn't have a secret backyard wedding, but we can trust everything else they say. Yeah.
Right.
Just like our big pharma companies, let's go back just a few decades here and keep in mind that 4 out of 5, quote, scientists are going to come up with the results of whoever's paying for the study. So they told us for decades that there was absolutely no link between cigarettes and any upper respiratory, cardiopulmonary disease, lung cancer. No link whatsoever, couldn't be proven. And of course, it came out later that they were literally killing people who came up with data that demonstrated that was a lie. They told us for years DDT was safe and effective.
Yeah.
It's probably more effective than the things that they're saying are safe and effective now, but certainly not safe. So again, how many times do they have to lie to you before you go, hey, maybe I shouldn't trust them? But hey, you do you. I was going to say I'm not a scientist, but I am. I'm sorry. Demi Lovato revealed she almost relapsed immediately after a near fatal overdose when the media called her morbidly obese because she's got great impulse control. Is that? Oh, dear. But idolize them, right? Let's make sure that we idolize them.
Jeez.
So,
So I see there too, it says Bobby Brown Jr. died.
Yeah. Bobby Brown Jr. Alcohol, cocaine, fentanyl combo. Have you seen my surprised face?
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember that whole thing is just crazy. Like him and Whitney
Yep.
Houston. Like when Whitney Houston married him,
Yep.
she totally went downhill, and they all became like ghetto drug addicts. And then her daughter died in the tub the same way
Same
she
way.
did, supposedly, if
Yep.
you believe the story.
Sure. And while she was in the midst, Whitney Houston was in the midst of all that. She was cast to play the preacher's wife in a remake of the 1960s classic. Oh dear. Just to show you what Hollywood has going for you. So yeah, there you go. Krispy Kreme offering a daily free donut for a year with a vaccine card. So again, not required, but if you want to do anything, if you want to go to a concert or go to a restaurant or get a Krispy Kreme donut, you're going to need to have proof of it. So this was, let's see, where did I see? Perhaps it was here on CNN. They keeps changing. They had two conflicting stories side by side with different different takes on the AstraZeneca version. One study saying it's fine, the other study saying we have questions about it. So it's just enough to give, again, you fuel both sides of the argument, so everybody can take on the other side. And they, of course, they don't look at AstraZeneca, right? But this is the big one here. And if you can't tell, this is poppycock, the MS event. What are we going to call this? Catholic Church service. I don't know. Guys, come on. Eric Tally, because we're tallying it up. You start looking at the numbers involved in this thing. It stinks to high heaven, as they always do. So, of course, we got a running total 540,000 plus U.S. deaths.
Wow.
How beards could affect your risk. How about that?
Beards now?
Beards.
Everything, right?
Yeah, right. So you got to shave or not to shave, how beards can affect your risk of getting it. Well, I know that what can substantially increase your risk of getting it is watching the news.
Wow.
Here's our friends at the BBC. Nonsense. Of course, they have their big ones up front. This is what they want you to know: that 10 were killed in a Colorado supermarket shooting, because that's important for you to know. And
supermarket. It was a supermarket now.
yeah, well, and then if you weren't hip to the tip,
Was it a crazy anti-masker?
no, you know what it was this time?
What?
Religious. His Christian faith drove him to do it. So,
Seriously?
yep. That's
Oh my God.
That's what we're spinning now, because anything right of very far left is okay. So we got that going, which is nice. Let's see. I saw they keep updating these, and they're making it difficult for me. Oh, here's one I found nice. So Rose used to bring out the colored map, the real-time map showing what people were linking on, which she would say the normies. I found this, however, well, it doesn't work for me anymore because it was Java. It was driven with Java scripting, and they don't support that anymore. So this is an interesting one. This is a map, an interactive map that shows you different events. And you can go to it. Of course, you got like a fire, right? There's a death. See, you're doing me a death. You got guns, because you got to have the gun violence, right? So the whole bunch of it there. And in the South, you get all around Nashville, lots of guns, because you know that. And Florida. Look at Florida. We do have a Florida man for today, I think. We have this guy, a pantsless Florida man arrested for pleasuring himself with a pickle.
What?
Well, I know that this the way you make pickle bread is to use dildo, but I don't even know. Pantsless man arrested yesterday for pleasuring himself with a pickle.
Hey there, I that news map thing does work for me, and I just brought it up just to see, and I found this little article here where they're warning us They're warning us there's going to be a new surge in coronavirus infections and long-range shadow to COVID.
Oh, of course there is. Yes. Yes, the new variants, they're going to get us with that one for a while.
There will definitely be another surge in infections, according to England's chief medical officer.
Well, definitely. And according to Foul Cheese, right, he was very definite that we were going to have a surprise pandemic during the administration. Well, if you know, it's not a surprise, is it? You fucking liars. And this Florida man in a motorized scooter exposes himself to shoppers at a Walmart because Florida man, scooter, Walmart, it's all the elements that you need for a Florida man story. We also have embezzlement. But I've noticed that again a change in the language. So again, we always have these things: former something embezzlement, right? We've noticed sentencing or some adjudication in these, and now what I notice is the very first hits are not the typical thing that we've seen. So new law removes embezzlement, penalties for fraud, embezzlement, they increase, right? So changes in the law, and so I find this very fascinating. I wish that I had pulled this apart and had more time to really dig into it. But it does seem as though there's some interesting relationship here with these embezzlement news stories. All of a sudden appeared out of nowhere, and they all had again similar headlines: former something embezzlement amount. And then it was facing charges for. And now they've been getting adjudicated, and now the laws are changing. So I find this. So penalties tighten for public employees convicted of fraud and embezzlement, right? So it is a very, very interesting kind of ongoing thing. And I should, again, if I had time to, maybe soon I will when I get back from our little visit. I may find myself with quite a bit of time on my hands.
They, if they're doing this and they're changing laws and stuff, it seems like, and they're doing it just for state employees. Is this some sort of like preemptive thing to like stop anybody from trying to dissent from the inside out?
Perhaps. I've seen a number of things that are very curious, Karen, of late. Well, I guess that's an understatement.
It's like there's some purpose to this, and I know it's like I'm with you. I can't see it yet. I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's so stupid. Like, what does it all mean? But it seems like if they're starting to change laws and stuff, that to me that's like they're setting up for something that we don't know. What is it?
Well, and certainly, again, anytime that they change laws and strengthen, arbitrary laws, it certainly gets my attention because, of course, they were trying to we go all the way back to the Oklahoma City bombing of the federal building in the 90s. And, of course, at that time, they were right then trying to make it easier for them to snoop and to have it, again, clamp down on, quote, domestic terrorism. And so what happens? Oh, dear. Timothy McVeigh and the ever-changing story. So, I found this. I thought I'd throw this up here. This is, I'm back. I took back my word. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know if you've seen this. This is, I shouldn't have given it away. This is the bank robber or customer. So let's see here. I'm pulling this up from the video that we did. Let's see the stream that we did the other night on Sunday.
Yeah, I see that Ceiling Fan Man streams, but he streams late on Friday, and I'm already like half asleep.
Yeah,
when
he
streams.
He used to do it at 9 on Pacific time, which was midnight, starting midnight your time. He backed up by an hour now.
That's way too late for me.
Yeah. So this is your first one. This would be bank robber or customer. And Young Love says robber. I think you knew it already. We gave it, spoiler alert. It's a robber. But again, the first time I saw it, I was like, well, I don't want to be that guy who just makes an assumption, right? But I mean, he does look like a pretty corn pop. He's a pretty bad guy. How about this guy? Well, turns out, of course, he's a robber too, because I had the same thoughts. I'm like, well, if the last guy was, I don't want to get in trouble. Man, ceiling fan man totally got me. He totally got me. Let's see here. We have this person. And this person turned out to be a robber as well. And then we had this one here. Not a robber, but arrested for being a robber. They thought she was. And then we have, let's see, then we have this one coming up. The first image. You can see the ceiling fan man logo that I so cleverly put in there. Okay, it was a bank robber or customer. Turns out he is a customer. However, we'll show this in a minute. She was arrested for not wearing a mask. That's the story that we're told. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to play a little game called Two Truths and a Lie. And in our Two Truths and a Lie, Karen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 headlines, and you're going to tell me if that's a legitimate headline or it's a fake headline. You ready?
Okay.
All right, you ready to play this? All right, first headline. Let's see. I have to come here and get them all lined up. Okay. Okay, so headline number 1. Trump wax figure moved in Texas because people kept punching it in the face. So Trump wax figure moved in Texas because people kept punching it in the face.
I'll go with true.
Okay, so let's see if I can move this here.
Are you going to tell me the answers at the end?
At the end, yeah. All right, so that's the first one. The second one is a Pennsylvania prosecutor demoted for delivering DoorDash meals while on the job. He was doing a little side hustle.
Wait, say that first part again?
Yep. So a Pennsylvania prosecutor, a state prosecutor, he was demoted for delivering DoorDash while on the job. Because he needed a little side hustle.
I'll say false.
Okay. And then we have, let's see, this one. Okay, so this one, a Trump wax figure had to be moved in Texas after visitors kept praying to it. I should have put those together, but I didn't. I came upon those 2 stories separately. So they had to move the wax figure. The first one, number 1, is because people kept punching it. Number 3 is because people kept praying to it. And number 2 is the prosecutor side hustle. So you have Trump punch is true, prosecutor side hustle false, and Trump wax figure also potentially true. So, all right, let's get going here. Whoops. So, where am I at here? Okay.
Yeah, I think that the one with the wax figure, them praying to it, I think that's probably true. There's probably, because it's extremes on either side.
There are. Okay, so now we're going to reveal. All right, so Trump wax figure number 1, it was moved in Texas because people kept punching it in the face. Louis Tussauds Wax Works in San Antonio had deep scratches after several attacks by visitors. Also, this Pennsylvania prosecutor was demoted for delivering DoorDash while on the job. He earned $125,000 a year at his job as a prosecutor for the state, but he kept delivering food because, he needed the money. And
that just makes 0 sense.
Yep. And the wax figure that people kept praying to, nope, that's a Babylon Bee. That's a Babylon Bee story. So, but again, it could be true. That's the thing about the Babylon Bee, is that their stuff is often more accurate than CNN.
You know what's funny is I've looked at Babylon Bee and I couldn't even tell that they were satire at first. Mm-hmm. It is so crazy. I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know what's satire and what's not. And I have to ask people, is that real?
Exactly. Right. I mean, and see, because they're plausible, right? That's the thing of what makes, I think, Babylon Bee so great is like this new Trump social media site. He's going to make his own site. And that is a true story. At least he's announced that he's going to do his own social media site to include verification badges for people who aren't losers and total disasters.
I'll join that one.
Yeah,
I'll join that. So
exactly. I want to be certified as not a total disaster. Huge. I loved this one. Air Force One now equipped with handicap parking pass. If you haven't seen it, oh dear, it's delightful. Let's see. Yeah, so they're going to cover for him here, I'm sure, because they do. The media loves to do to cover for him and say that somebody greased the steps or some nonsense. So here he is getting off the helicopter. He does the salute. He's got a weird gait. He looks like he can barely stand up. To my eye, and maybe the human suit is weird. I don't know. Maybe he's trouble keeping the tail in. I can't. I don't know.
Stick up his ass.
The stick up its ass has got to stick up its ass. All right. So the Hill TV is actually, they put out they had the best, clearest shots of the microphones that just kind of floated there in mid space. All right. So he's going to go up the steps here and. Stay alive, stay alive. And whoop. Okay, I got it. No, I got to know it. Whoop, whoop. Okay, I'll just sit there for a minute. And I got you. All right. And stupid shoes. Dude. Come on, man. All right. So, yeah. That's it's good stuff. So, completely unrelated. This is. I'll finish up with this stuff because there's plenty of poppycock. I don't have to go looking too far for it. So we got that.
Wait. Yep. I just saw a flash on a screen. It said COVID can knock out the common cold or something like that.
Okay, well let's find that one because. Let's see, has U.S. seen surge in hate crimes against Asian people during COVID? Well, again, that's Snopes, so you know what you're going to get from that. But again, there's no. That's just they made that shit up. 3,000 anti-Asian racist incidents, mostly against women. Yeah, you know what? Nearly every quote hate crime that I've looked at in the past 4 years, almost all of them, almost without exception, are just like juicy smell it. They're self-instigated. Because we glorify victimhood, and so people need that attention. 5 who used marijuana in the past will exit White House. Come on, man. What about acid? All right. So this is the one I saw earlier. Fully vaccinated people can visit unvaccinated family and friends, but one household at a time. You know what? You know what you can do with telling me who I can see and who I can't see? Way over there. Way over there.
Yeah.
That's where you can go fuck off. And when you get there, you just keep fucking off.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna need to go ahead and get all the way up off my back. You don't get to tell me what I'm doing.
That's right.
All right. So where are we at here? Krispy Kreme, technology. Okay, so where did you see that? It's got to be.
I saw it was like a woman. She was sneezing into a tissue, and it said COVID can knock out the cold or some bullshit.
All right. Well, I'll find it here. So fully vaccinated people. Plastics. Oh, this is one I had pulled up. My dad willfully exposed the whole family to COVID.
What?
Yeah. I have that one pulled up. So let's see. I'm not
what happened?
it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. But I did see this. My dad willfully exposed the whole family to COVID after he's recovered. How do I hold him to account? You know what this story is? This is poppycock.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's that didn't happen. That's nonsense. So yeah. Let's see if I can find though.
Here, I found it. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
There we go. How the common cold can boot out COVID.
Yes.
I done found it. All right.
There you go. Good job.
From the BBC. Some viruses are known. Let's stop right there. I don't think we've ever identified a living virus.
Right.
Ever.
Live right off the bat.
Yeah. So we're done. You've been debunked right there. to be the one that causes an infection have never been shown to cause as a pathogen of any kind. It never causes anything. They're dead and probably just an exosome. And University of Glasgow scientists say it appears cold-causing rhinovirus trumps coronavirus. Okay, well, that's loaded. So it appears, that's observation. That's not scientific method at all. Scientific method requires that you have a dependent and independent variable. Simply observe and declare is pseudoscience. So they're not scientists, they're pseudoscientists. And if they say it appears that this trumps, they got to put that in there to get your elevate your emotional amplitude. The benefits might be short-lived, but rhinovirus is so widespread, they add, it could still help to suppress COVID. So get a cold so you won't get the cranny. Unfreaking believable. So, again, we start with the very, very first thing that they said. Some viruses are known to compete in order to be the one that causes an infection. Viruses have not been isolated anywhere, ever, living viruses. No. So never comported to even one of Koch's postulates. So, sorry, you lose. Try again.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I was going to show, this is absolutely unrelated to anything, and this is not our typical thing for Poppycock Report. However, it does, it is an indication of the way that they lie to us, right? So we know in our community, right, that's what we do, that's how we be around these parts, right? It's everything that they tell us is a lie, not just one or two things, it's everything. Because I'm going to put in here, I forgot the article I had queued up. It was a Fake X article. It's just so ridiculous. Just like, oh dear. Anyway, so everything that they tell us is a lie. And one of the biggest ones for me, and I was having this conversation with Brian Hattery. We say that because his name is in all caps. And so whenever it's like shouting his name. Anyway, so I was having this conversation with him on the trip back from Shelton. One of the big ones for me, as I was going through this period of geometric agnosticism in the fall of 2014, one of the things that, of course, I did is try to establish the heliocentric model based on the information and where it came from. And what I, of course, discovered during that was opening up this can of worms, the work of Velikovsky and Flamenco and others that, history, as we know, is a lie, and all the things that were done there. And so that was probably one of the biggest ones, just blew the top of my head clean off. It was rather messy. But once that kind of all kind of came into focus and realizing that we know nothing about where we come from or where we are, it made sense as to, they go, why would they lie? Well, if you can take that away from somebody, they have no foundation at all. They have no idea who they are, where they are, what they are. But when that came up, it strangely opened up this fascinating world of, wow, everything is up for grabs, right? You don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And part of that, of course, is the lost history. And of course, it's pretty evident, right, that these megaliths, certainly go to the ones in South America and the pyramids, of course. That we have these megalithic structures all over the world that not only are very similar in construction, but using construction methods that we cannot even figure out how they did it, much less some of them that we couldn't do today. Especially, for example, the pyramid. And when you see how many things are encoded in the pyramid that we're told, according to, the mainstream narrative, the timeline is that they didn't even have the mathematics to even know of those things, much less encode them within a megalithic structure. And so it's very obvious, and has been for most of my life, that is a lie. It's certainly not accurate. Again, it became more clear after learning these other things, right? What the nature of the Smithsonian Institute is, and what their actual purpose is not to preserve, but rather to destroy evidence of history. And when you begin going back and seeing giants and all these other things that have been tossed out. And so there is more recently a lot of hypothesis and research into what's now kind of colloquially called mud flood, right? And there's also the mud fossil, which explores the idea that many of these large rock formations that appeared miraculously to kind of look like giant creatures just might be the fossilized remains of those things. But certainly there's a lot of people, including like the Truth Seeker 69, who looks at these ancient civilizations that appear to have been wiped out. One of the things that John Levy, who is a great researcher, and he's been doing this for a couple of years, getting into the Antiquitech, right? And Madsen, Flat Earth British, is also looking into that. So I think everybody here is probably aware of this stuff and what's going on with that. But the idea that there's these resets, maybe even more than one, and as we come into what the predatory class these days calls the Great Reset, I found some very interesting things as I was looking in Scripture, and I thought I'd share. I shared those with Ceiling Fan Man, and he shared them with, I think, Steve JMO, and I'm not sure that they exactly got it. But I wanted to point out a couple of these things that I found. The first one I bumped into, and I'm just going to throw this into our audience, and so you guys can do with it what you will. I'll be curious to hear in the comments or via email what you guys think of this. I guess suppose before I break this out, Karen, where are you at on this whole mud flood, Great Reset, foundling thing? What do you think about all that?
That subject is kind of, I don't really, I'm not really 100% married to anything really as far as that goes. I find the mud flood stuff very interesting, and there's a lot of compelling evidence for it, although sometimes some of the things they talk about don't really resonate with me as far as like how some of the things happened, as far as like liquefaction and stuff like that. It just doesn't ring true to me. I think definitely obviously something happened. There was some sort of cataclysmic event. Was it one? Was it many? Did it all happen at the same time? I don't know. I don't know that we'll ever know. I just know that looking at it is very interesting because it definitely shows us that whatever they tell us about history is definitely a fucking lie.
Bingo. Yeah.
Definitely a lie. What's the truth? I don't know, but it sure is fun to think about and look at and try to figure out, mostly the Antiquitech stuff, because I feel like there's a lot of probably information or knowledge to glean from that part of it, as far as how society should work and the electrification of the grid and how all that stuff works. I'm sure there's a better way to do it than what we've been doing it. Yeah, that's probably the most interesting aspect of it to me would be that part.
I agree. I agree with pretty much everything you said there. I have long said, right, with some of the stuff that I don't think we can know. The evidence is being kept from us, destroyed. It sure is fun to speculate a bit. What we can know is that what they've told us is a lie. That's evident. And as we go through it, it's again, I find it curious and, as you say, compelling. But I think some of the claims that are made seem far-fetched. but weird things happen too. So, fuck, man, I don't know. I just, as you say, I don't get married to any of it. I rarely will make, positive claims of specificity and say, this is truth, right? And I'm sure not going to say that anybody who doesn't believe it is an idiot. It's not how I roll. Anyway, but I found some interesting things in the Bible that could potentially lend some support to these ideas, or at least, again, it's curious. And especially when taken into account what we're told in the book of Ecclesiastes, that not only to everything that there is a season, right, but there's nothing new under the sun. All things that have been, that will be, have been. And so this has been used numerous times to talk about this idea that we had more advanced civilizations once. and those are now gone. And so I found, again, some of these interesting, especially that they come from the Old Testament, which, again, predates the New Testament by what we're told, again, 1,500 plus years. So this is, again, part of the Pentateuch. It's the first 5 books of the Bible written by or ascribed to Moses. And this is from chapter 6, beginning in verse 10, when the Lord your God brings you into the land he swore to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that he would give to you, a land with large and beautiful cities that you did not build, houses full of every good thing that you did not fill them with, cisterns that you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Very much the situation as John Levy describes with people. Again, Freemasons. Yeah, look, Freemasonry. Right. So I found that very interesting. Also, taking a look at Joshua. So this is Joshua chapter 24. So I gave you a land on which you did not toil, and cities you did not build, and you live in them and eat from vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. And now this is fascinating to me because this is the book of Job. And Job is considered to be the oldest book in the Bible. It predates the Pentateuch by some hundreds of years, perhaps. It is ascribed again to a Job, or at least someone, one of his contemporaries, and this is said to be the oldest extant book of the Bible. Early on, this is the bad things have already happened to Job. There's some very fascinating stuff throughout this book, but this I found very curious. This is from Job chapter 3, and Job is lamenting the day he was born, and saying that it would be better for him not to have been born. And in context here, what he's saying is, this is chapter 3, beginning with verse 11. In context, he's saying these forefathers, the ancients, right? So people long before him. So to put that into context, not only is this the oldest book of the Bible, so as far back as we can go biblically, but now he's talking about the ancients, people long before him. Let's note that. He says, why didn't I die at birth, come forth from the womb and die? Why did knees receive me and breast let me nurse? For now I would be lying down quietly. I'd sleep, rest would be mine, with kings and earth's advisors who rebuild ruins for themselves, or with princes who have gold, who fill their houses with silver. So these are the ancients, according to Job, the people who are already long dead, who themselves rebuilt ruins. So I found that fascinating. There seems to be evidence for perhaps 3 separate events. I found some other things in Isaiah as well. I'll put them all together when I find them, but it does seem to be a very fascinating, at least support. I don't think proof. I'm not going to use that, but certainly evidence for what may be happening over and over. Is civilizations come and go, and the next one comes and takes their shit, but they're dumb. I don't know if you remember the Star Trek Next Generation episode. We need things to make us go. there was a civilization of really dumb people, let's say slow learners. Can I say that? The R word. Slow learners, but they had found and adopted technology from other civilizations just enough to kind of get it to go, but they knew nothing about it. And so they would regularly kidnap engineers from other civilizations to make it go. We need things to make us go. Oh, my. Well, that's what we've got for you today. I should have probably set up Tiny Earl. I kind of missed that. We'll have to try that soon. I think you should understand that there is almost certainly not going to be CockyPop Report coming up on Thursday, as I will be traveling to South Kakalaki. Oh, man, I did want to show this. Here we go. Let me transition here. Someone sent me photographs. They live near Texas. They live in Texas, near Here we go. I'll find this. This is awesome. Okay. Near Boca Chica, where SpaceX is. And they took these pictures personally. Look at that bullshit. Karen, look at that shit.
What? Is that a water tower that broke? Looks like a broken water tower.
That looks like a tweaker homeless shelter. You think that?
Looks like a tower that fell over in a hurricane.
Look at this garbage. Oh my God.
Really?
That look at that. Look. It's not even cut. Look, it's not even cut right. See, can you see that?
Look at all the rivets and did they, I swear it's like they put these fucking things together in like a couple hours before they.
And they were drunk. So there's supposed to be precision, right? So again, keep in mind that if there's any leak, anything, the thing will, the pressure differential would rip this thing apart. And again, the speed that it's supposed to be going, the SR-71 Blackbird travels about 2,300 miles an hour, Mach 3-ish, something like that.
Right.
Had to be made out of titanium and expands more than a foot front to back. Weeps fuel on the tarmac because they can't get it to seal properly because, of the thermal expansion. This is freaking aluminum. It's just a sheet aluminum. And look at this, not even cut properly. Look
it looks
at that.
like a hillbilly hot tub.
It does. I mean, they took a pair of tin snips and cut that shit out. It's not even. It's not even pressed up against. It's not even flush. For crying out! Look at this bullshit. Look.
And if you look at too, like right on the right side where the sun is shining right on it, you can see like right underneath the flap of the aluminum, like how it's not even
it's one
sealed.
It's one
like that. Seriously, what you're talking about, the aerodynamics and the speeds, like the thing would just rip to shreds.
To shreds. This is garbage.
To shreds.
Look at this bullshit. And it's got a handwriting. Look at that. It's got handwriting on it.
Does it have it has patches and shit.
Oh my God. This is, and look, just stacks of wood down here. Well, what's going on here? Well, this is underneath this. Look at this. This is supposed to be their fucking spaceship. And they got piles of wood down here. What the hell is going on? Water.
It looks like a construction set for like a movie set.
Yes.
It's a prop. It's a fucking movie prop.
It is a prop. So yeah, this is.
That looks like a prop set.
It is. It is. It's garbage. Oh my God, this is such garbage. I can't believe anyone buys. Look at this shit. Oh my God.
So what is that supposed to be a picture of? Is that them supposed to be building one, or is this the one that blew up, or
no,
what
this
is that?
one that's in regular use. It's their little copper garbage. Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
Thank you, Austin Clementine. I really appreciate it. And sorry, but I didn't get your messages. They went to spam. She sent me 3 emails. The first 2 went to spam. Didn't see them forever. Third one, coming from the same address, shows up in my inbox saying, "How come you didn't respond?" I'm like, what? And I searched, and I was like, what the holy? I love you, Google. You're so nice. Look at this. Look at this. It's supposed to be fucking going to space, and it's just like a construction site. Oh my gosh. Well, this is what they think of you guys. This is how they treat you. They think you are, dumb like that. So SpaceX, more risk, better rockets. Look at that. See that parabola right there? Where's that going? Into space? No, it's going down.
It's the curve of the Earth.
Earth. Yeah, it's the Earth curve.
It's the curve of the Earth. The rocket's going straight, dude. We're turning. It's so retarded.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We got liftoff.
Oh my God.
All teams, triage alerts, please.
That's so pathetic. Bullshit.
FC2, please prepare for section 35. OSC, FC1, LVN.
As if. You're so stupid.
Those in space.
Oh,
Seriously.
here we go again. Oh, man, this is great stuff. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that was good.
It is.
Oh, that was
a
good.
balloon. It has to be.
Oh, that was so
It's a
good.
balloon with a tinfoil outer coating.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. They expect you to believe that shit. Unreal. Unfucking real. That is. Wow. Oh, dear me.
And it's landing while it's on fire.
Yeah, that's some good
That's-
stuff right there.
Wow.
Wow. Well, you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Freaking science. There's science in the shit out of that, man.
Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
People fall for this shit.
They got an audio recording of Mars now.
What?
Mars is leaking water into space. And it's going to spawn a tiny helicopter because 1% of the atmosphere. So yeah, it's viral Mars conspiracy theory video claims humans lived on Mars and destroyed it in a nuclear war. So it must be true, right? Because most of the conspiracy theories are turning out to be true. So why not that one? They'll just call it a conspiracy theory.
Actually, that is an old thing that's like from the 90s, that Mars used to be like Earth and then it died.
Yep.
And I remember my mom, because my mom, she's a big science nerd, and I got my love of science from my mom. But I remember her reading a book that it was called Dead Mars, Dying Earth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Hoagland was pushing that one as well, with the and the big glass domes on the moon, and that's why we had to fake it. We totally had all the technology to do it. In fact, we did it way better than we showed. We made it look hard because we didn't want people to know that we got this alien technology. One, to get there, and two, why we can't go back. Right, is because the aliens they're pissed. They don't want us in their space. So they said, stay in your own lane, and ugly bags of mostly water. Oh, I can't wait to see you, Karen. We're going to have a big time. Hey,
oh, yeah. We're going to have a freaking blast.
Don't forget to bring the coffee stuff to the park on Friday.
Okay.
So
I will.
Do I need to send you an email? Or?
Yeah, you can remind me. I won't say no to friendly reminders because I'm bound to forget something.
I'm the same way. I'm like, no, please bug me. People are like, I know your schedule's busy. I don't want to bug you. I'm like, no, please help me. Right? Please. I don't
help
have
me.
I don't have a secretary.
That's what I tell my children. They're like, Mom, how'd you? I'm like, I can't remember everything. You guys have to help me.
I need help. Please help me. Yes, it is, Jennifer. Ugly bags of mostly water is from Star Trek. It is one of my favorite Star Trek quotes. I got a text from Ceiling Fan Man last night, and he was sending me a picture, and he's like, "Do you recall?" He goes, "Did you watch Star Trek?" And I didn't have a chance to respond to him because I didn't see it till this morning, and I was thinking this was going to be my reply. Ceiling Fan Man, I love you, but. And I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but duh. Did I watch Star Trek? Okay. Anyway, he was like, do you remember Spock wearing makeup? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because the early episodes, they were it was intended actually. In fact, one of the pilots was done in black and white, and it was thought that it was going to be shot in black and white, much like Lost in Space with the Robinson family. And so he had an inordinate amount of kind of blue and gray eyeshadow to kind of give him that sallow look. And it only lasted, I think, the first three seasons, and then it wasn't quite so much, but lots of pancake makeup. But yeah, he had blue eyeshadow, but. I think he was thinking it was Mandela effect because he didn't remember it. But I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, as soon as he asked the question, and then I asked, I asked my wife, and she's like, oh yeah, same thing. That at the outset, all of them, it was really campy. The first couple of seasons were really pretty campy until they got some moderate success, and then they tried to make it serious, and then well. The rest is history. It became predictive programming for the entire space program and iPads and everything else, right? So you go, Gene Roddenberry. Way to do it. All right. I guess that's enough for us today. Karen, thank you again so much for being willing to join us. Again, No poppycock on. I mean, there'll be poppycock. Trust me, there will be poppycock and plenty of it. But I just won't be able to report on it on Thursday because I'll be traveling on my way to South Kakalaki. And so should you. You should be on your way there as well. Because if you've been feeling alone and isolated, man, there's nothing for it like getting together with good people who are like you are. And they got their heads on their shoulders and not up their butt. No masks, not spending time looking in their phone, hanging out with each other, and raising the vibration of the whole world. How about that shit? All right, kids, we will say good morning to you and hope to see you back again this weekend. I won't be back for that either. So screw you guys. You're on your own. Yo, you're on your own. How about that? All right, kids. Karen, thank you again so much, and I'll see you this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Woot.
Yes.
Yes.
Party.
Rock on. Okay. Take care, kid. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, you knuckleheads, you poppy peepers, get your shit together. Get on down there to South Kakalaki. You know you want to. You know you got to. Hallelujah. Friends. Throw away your country and western and disco. Oh, dear. Come to the power of rock and roll. Jalapeno. All right, kids. Hope to see you coming up this week. And, I got to have a shout out to Frendella's or Flat. That's the best green butter ever. You rock. You're my new best friend. Anyway, take care, kids. And we'll see you soon.
1, 2, 3.
I'll be back. I promise. I won't leave you hanging. I promise. I'll be back.
Cocks don't poppy, oh, poppycock, cocks do poppy by 4. And that's why all the folks on poppycock keep poppycocks in a jar. But once I met a girl on poppycock back in the poppycock hills, they won't let me back on poppycock, reckon they never will. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. The earth don't spin at all on poppycock, flatter than a hot roadkill. And beer don't stick to balls on poppycock, reckon it never will. Once I met two folks on poppycock, one bald, the other likes cats. She wild as a rosy, quicker than a satellite, no poppycock about that. Well, poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Take a tray.
Do-si-do. Oh. Keep that poppycock off your shoe. It's sticky. Don't get the jab. Don't do it. Don't get the jab. I'm telling you, don't do it.
Sheep don't like to flock on poppycock, ain't no poppycock pins. You might just find yourself on poppycock, waking with a poppycock kin. And poppycock, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old poppycock, poppycock, you and me, Rose and Baldini. Why so freaking early? Poppycock, you and me.